I'm spending my day watching Romeo x Juliet, the Romeo and Juliet anime. The one where they say things like, an iris by any other name smells just as sweet. It's ridiculous, but I kind of love it. But kind of in like, I don't want to say like in a so bad it's good way, but like, it really doesn't have that much to do with Romeo and Juliet, other than like the very basic plot point of like Romeo and Juliet. Like in particular, like basically all the side characters are non-existent. Like Mercutio, for example, seems to be completely different in this version. There is no Tybalt. There is, I think, the Prince and like Lord Montague have been merged. Anyway, let's wait till I get to the end before like I give a proper review of this thing. I don't believe this thing is it. I kind of love it. Like in spite of all this weird shit, in spite of not being a very good Romeo and Juliet adaptation, I'm kind of digging it in spite of like its weird ass plot decisions. Namely, Juliet's reverse trap. So, for those of you who haven't seen the show, watch episode 4 if you want to get an idea of of where we are at the moment. So, what's been happening? Like typical Romeo and Juliet bullshit, with an anime coat of paint like slapped over it. Juliet, as a child, had her family murdered by the Montagues, Romeo's family, and they meet up again as teenagers, and of course, they want to fuck. But Juliet, because like she's being forced into hiding, she's still somehow allowed to go out as a Zorro-esque vigilante into the streets of Neo Verona, beating the shit out of the police and stuff like that, to liberate the citizens of the city. Even though she's allowed to do stuff like that, you can't go out as a girl. You can't go out and actually talk to a boy. So like Juliet meets Romeo. They hit it off. They actually, in 4 episodes, mind you, I think they interact more often than they do in the actual play. Like that's one of the really interesting things about this adaptation, I think, is that they actually make the relationship between Romeo and Juliet actually engaging and fun for the most part. Like you actually see why these people like each other, as opposed to just being like, yeah, we want to fuck. So Juliet, because of like her situation with her like her being the last Capulet or what have you, is specifically told not to go near Romeo, like not to have anything to do with him. Like you need to stay away from this noble. They don't even know he's like a Montague. Like they just know he's a noble. And so like she's specifically told not to go near him. And yet over and over again, by pure coincidence, this motherfucker keeps coming into her life. And it took me So what happens is that Romeo, because Juliet is like a vigilante and is used to like running around everywhere as a boy, that they keep running into each other while Juliet is dressed as a boy, while she's cross-dressing. And it took me a while to pick up on this. It took me a while to really get a feel for Romeo as a character, but the way he acts towards her doesn't change depending on whether or not she's dressed as a boy. So what this means is that Romeo in this adaptation is a depraved bisexual motherfucker who aggressively goes after anyone who comes near him. It's just like, it's ridiculous how Juliet doesn't even seem to realize this. but like Romeo puts the same moves on Odin, her male counterpart, or the Red Whirlwind, her like vigilante persona, versus as he does like the female. Like Romeo wants to fuck all 3 of them, and it's just like There's this scene in episode 4 where like Juliet meets him again while she's dressed as a boy, and she's kind of like, I don't want to do it because I was told not to. I'm not supposed to talk to him. And then she's just like, oh, wait, I'm dressed as a boy, so he's not going to try anything. So she immediately just comes out from behind the pillar to talk to him. And Romeo immediately goes for it. Like, his horse, like, immediately walks over, and Romeo's just like, oh, hey, want to ride? And they have this sequence where they just... You know that scene in Aladdin where they're just, like, flying through the sky, like, a whole new world? It's kind of like that. Like, it's like this with a cross-dressing Juliet. And Romeo has this, like, really, like... really deep heart-to-heart with this guy he hardly knows on the back of a Pegasus. Like, and then he immediately... Okay, what he immediately does is that he keeps this guy out. Well, he keeps Juliet out until it starts raining and they start getting rained on. And, like, Romeo's keeps, like, pushing her to be like, hey, want to go home? Want to go to your place? Like, do you want me to take you home? And Juliet's like... No, I'm fine. And he's just like, oh, I guess we'll go to, I don't want to go home either, so we're going to go to neutral ground. Is that agreeable? And Juliet's just like, okay. So they immediately go. They immediately go to the shack that apparently is just sort of there. They start a fire, and, like, Romeo immediately, like, starts, like, taking off his clothes, starts stripping, and Juliet's like, oh no, I don't want him to figure out I'm a girl. And Romeo's just like, hey, it's nothing I haven't seen before, right? And she's just like, I don't strip in front of strangers. And then he's just like, okay, whatever. You can change, you can dry off while I go deal with my Pegasus. So, like, she, like, waits for a while, then for some reason decides she's going to dry off. Without, like, locking the door or anything like that. So of course she lets her hair down and shit like that. Somehow, like, I don't understand this. It's like she has, like, this really long mane of, like, flowing red hair that's, like, goes way back down her back. Like, it's ridiculous. She somehow, like, is able to tie it up. Like, instead of just having it cut, you know, like, it's this really long, like, really long hair that she's somehow able to just tie up so intricately that she looks like a boy. Like, nobody is able to, like, realize that Juliet is actually a girl. Somehow able to mistake Juliet for a boy, which I don't know how you fucking do that. She's so fucking feminine. Anyway, so she lets down her hair and, like, undresses and dries off, and immediately, like, Romeo comes in early. Like, clearly he was expecting to see another guy there, but instead he sees Juliet and gets with her instead. It's ridiculous. Like, it really is ridiculous. Like, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to say it's badly written, because, like, in spite of, like, how ridiculous it is, and how, like, I don't want to call it melodramatic. I don't know how to describe how I feel about this. Like, in spite of everything wrong with it, like, I'm still very much entertained. But, like, not only this scene, but, like, the anime in general. It's, for me, like, it's a very, very fun watch. I'm not sure, like, how popular this anime is. I imagine lots of people hate it because of, like, it's an adaptation and that it takes a lot of liberties and stuff like that. But I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of into it. Like, in spite of this weirdness, I just find it, like, I'm laughing at it. You know, like, it's funny. Like, I like this. I like where the show is going. I like the animation. The models are great. The action's good. Again, the changes to the story actually do seem to benefit, like, the direction they want to take it in, right? They're actually playing up the love story angle more, which I do appreciate. But, like, when you come up with, like, weird situations like this, where you come up with Romeo being a depraved fucking degenerate and just trying to like bang everything that moves, everything except his fiance Charlotte. I said Charlotte, like fucking Hermione. Excuse me. Yeah, her name's Hermione. I don't know why I said Charlotte. Fucking berserk, but yeah, everyone except fucking Hermione. It's just, what the fuck, Romeo? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking? It's very, very entertaining, and I'm really curious about where I'm going to rate this anime when I'm done with it. I think I'm enjoying it more than I would than I was like something like Kill la Kill at this point. I think I will probably watch it all the way to the end. But I'm kind of curious how this is all going to resolve. Whether they're going to change the ending or not. I doubt it, but we'll see. So Romeo x Juliet, kind of a ridiculous watch, but I am very, very entertained.